Okay, so here we go. Welcome to the first Brazilian Week CCBC Online Festival, an event organized by the Chamber of Commerce Brasil-Canada, also known as CCBC, in partnership with the Brazilian Embassy in Canada, the Brazilian consulates in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, and with sponsorship by Air Canada. Today, on 7th of September, we celebrate the independence of Brazil. But as Brazilians, we like to celebrate, and we will be dedicating this whole week to do so. My name is Paulo de Castro Reis, and I'm the Executive Director of CCBC and the Curator of the Brazilian Week CCBC Online Festival. We are very happy to be launching this 5 days event this evening in an informal virtual ceremony with very special guests. I'd like to start by calling Paulo Perrotti, the President of CCBC, for a few words.
Thank you, Paulo de Castro. Thanks for the presentation. It's an honor to be able to participate in this event with such special guests. C'est un honneur de pouvoir participer à cet événement avec ces invités très spéciaux. Robert Oliphant, Secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jennifer May, Canadian Ambassador in Brazil, Pedro Borio, Brazilian Ambassador in Canada, and Giancarlo Takegawa from Air Canada. This event was already on our agenda and proved to be even more important in this moment of social isolation that we are experiencing due to the pandemic. Cet événement était déjà à notre ordre pour s'avérer encore plus important dans ces moments d'isolement social que nous traversons en raison de la pandémie. In July, we showed Brazilians the best of Canada in every way. En juillet, nous avons montré aux Brésiliens les meilleurs du Canada à tout point de vue. Now, it's the Brazilians' turn to show the Canadians what's best. Maintenant, c'est le tour du Brésilien de montrer aux Canadiens ce qu'il y a de mieux. As I always say, the mission of the Brazil-Canada Chamber of Commerce is to further improve the experience between both countries. Comme je dis toujours, la mission de la Chambre de commerce Brésil-Canada est d'améliorer les expériences entre les deux pays. And with this event, with the use of technology, we are able to present our music, our recipes, our technologies, and our soul without having to leave our countries. Et avec cet événement, avec l'utilisation de la technologie, c'était possible de présenter notre musique, nos recettes, nos technologies et notre âme sans avoir à quitter nos pays. Diversity is a characteristic of both countries. May we always be together, Brazil-Canada, united and exchanging experiences and emotions. La diversité est une caractéristique des deux pays. Puissions-nous être toujours ensemble, Brésil-Canada, unis et échangeant expériences et émotions. Thank you, and may this be the first of many events together. Merci, et que ce soit le premier de nombreux événements ensemble. Thank you, obrigado, et merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Paulo. And now thank you. And now I'd like to call Pedro Borio, the Brazilian ambassador in Canada.
Boa noite a todos. Good evening to all. Bonsoir à tous. It's a great pleasure for me to be participating in this event tonight. A little bit of formality is needed because I would like to, first of all, express my gratitude for us having here Secretary Oliphant joining us tonight. We're very happy to have a high representative of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Very happy also to have my counterpart and dear friend, Ambassador Jennifer May, here with us tonight. The two Paulos, President Paulo Perrotti and Paulo de Castro, tireless organizers of this event with us. It's a real pleasure to be here together. I would like also to mention the participation of my colleagues, the consuls of Brazil in Vancouver, Silva Albuquerque in Toronto, Ana Lélia Beltrami, and the consuls of Canada in Brazil, and all the staffs that we have in the different offices. Since this is a very special day for Brazil, I think we could start by recognizing and paying our respects to all the Canadians and Brazilians, our friends, who, especially those who have been working tirelessly in taking care of those in need in these times of pandemics. So no better way to pay our respects to them and to support them than by also working. So this is what is part of the genesis of this idea of having a full week of work ahead. So we can do our part also despite the difficulties of the current days. This is going to be, in my view, a very special week because we are going to have lighter parts of the event, like the music sessions or the session about cachaça, which is not so light because it's part of business or gastronomy or culture. But I would like to emphasize that we are going to have some very special sessions. We are going to have, for the first time in events organized by the embassy in Ottawa, together with the chamber and with support of different players, we're going to have the Minister of Mines and Energy of Brazil, Mr. Bento Albuquerque, who is going to be participating in one of the sessions for investments. Everybody that is linked to Brazil-Canada relations knows that this is the core of our commercial and economic relations. So I think it's going to be a very special opportunity. We are also going to have, for the first time, again, the presence of the Minister of Regional Development, a section that is highly dynamic right now in Brazil with the new legislation for sanitation, for gas. So a whole world of opportunities opening up. And we're going to be very honored to have these two ministers participating in their respective sessions. We are also having a very special, for me, event in which we are going to put together a gentleman that does not need a special introduction to Canadians, Ted Hewitt, who has a sort of an encyclopedic memory of all the relations between Brazil and Canada in the economic and technological fields. And he's going to share one of the segments with the president, the recently appointed president of the National Scientific and Technological Council of Brazil, Professor Evaldo Vilela, who also is a highly knowledgeable expert coming from a very vast background in science and technology in Brazil. So I'm particularly excited about this event, which I think might help us keep pushing to do more and better things for Brazil and Canada. Those that have been together with me in other events are already a little bit tired of listening to the repetition of something, which is that next year, this embassy here in Ottawa will commemorate its 80 years in Canada. This is no small feat. It's very important, and we are very proud of what has been achieved. But more than that, we are convinced that we can do much more. Canada, at the same time, will be commemorating 155 years of presence in Brazil since opening first commercial office. We have a very particular relationship, as it was mentioned before. Both are countries of extreme diversity. Both countries have investments in each other. It's not an unequal or unbalanced relation. On the contrary, very few Brazilians know that actually Brazil has more investments in Canada than Canada in Brazil. We probably could balance this better, and we certainly hope to do so. But to make it short, the possibilities are almost endless. And I like to recall this very famous slogan that Brazil had a few years ago when it was proposed that we could do in 5 years what could normally take 50. That's exactly how I feel regarding Brazil and Canada relations. I think the possibilities are huge. It's up to us to take the challenge, and I'm very happy to be part of this week because I think it's going to bring a very substantial contribution to this notion that a lot can be done. And my last, but never least, words go to the Brazilian community in Canada and to the Canadian community in Brazil. Both are extremely well integrated. Both are extremely productive and orderly and evolving in a fascinating way. Suffice it to mention that we had in recent years more than 150,000 Brazilian students coming every year to Canada. I doubt that many countries can mention another example like that. And I think it's a particularly stimulating way of highlighting what lays ahead for us. So thank you very much for the opportunity. All the best. Thank you very much, in particular, Robert and Jennifer, for being here tonight, and the two Paulos and our dear friend Giancarlo from Air Canada. We are very happy to know that you're flying again to Brazil. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ambassador Pedro. And now I would like to call the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Robert Oliphant. Robert, you're on mute.
Yes, I was, sorry.
Okay.
Obrigado.
So welcome again.
Obrigado. Boa noite, and thank you for welcoming me tonight, and to both the ambassadors, Your Excellencies, Jennifer and Pedro. I think tonight I will just call myself Paulo, because that's a majority in the group tonight. So you can think of me as Paulo Oliphant. And I really want to give a big thank you to the Chamber of Commerce Brazil-Canada for inviting me to this opening event of the first edition of Brazilian Week, CCBC Online Festival. I also understand you're collaborating with the Toronto-based Brazil-Canada Chamber of Commerce, the BCCC, and promoting this Brazil Week. And I congratulate both chambers, the embassy and the consulates here across Canada, for endeavoring to bring Brazilians and Canadians closer together. So thank you. Malgré des défis associés de la pandémie de COVID-19, je suis très heureux que la technologie nous ait permis l'opportunité de nous rassembler ce soir afin de célébrer la Journée nationale du Brésil. So thank you, all of you, that we together are able to celebrate the 198th anniversary of the independence of the Federative Republic of Brazil. The relations between Brazil and Canada, as have been mentioned by the ambassador, have been long-standing. And we did indeed open our first trade office in Brazil in the 19th century and established formal diplomatic relations in 1941 in the 20th century, and have grown together stronger ever since. On a very personal note, as some of you know, I had my first trip to Brazil, not my last trip to Brazil, about 5 years ago. And while it was said earlier that Brazilians like to celebrate, I can attest to the fact that Brazilians love to celebrate. So I learned of the culture of celebration. I learned of the great equalizer of the beach, where everyone is the same, and the great social leveler that is. And I also learned to drink caipirinha to excess. And it was New Year's, so I had an excuse. I was dressed in white, so I would look like a Brazilian. And ever since then, I just know that I want to go back. And I know that Brazil is more than celebrating. I know it's more than beaches. I know it's more than a beautiful scenery. I know it's a land of tremendous diversity, large population that is educated and thoughtful, and business opportunities that go both ways. And so as we engage in this week, I think we look at the ways that we will innovate, be resilient, and adapt together to ensure that our two countries have fortunes that are tied together. Chers amis, lorsque j'observe le Canada, je suis convaincu que maintenant, plus que jamais, il est temps de prendre avantage des liens étroits que nous avons tissés avec nos partenaires aux quatre coins du monde. Prior to the epidemic, the pandemic, Canada was in the midst of an ambitious trade diversification strategy, and we're already seeing its benefits. And that has to do with our trade with Europe, with CETA, our trade pan-Pacific with the CPTPP, and obviously our trade with North American partners, United States and Mexico. These are trade agreements that Canadians are recognizing are important, and they're about prosperity for everybody. But our diversification can't and won't stop there. We want to continue to strengthen our economy, and diversifying our trade into other markets, including in South America, including especially in Brazil, is a key priority now and in the future. The good news is that Brazil figures prominently in our plans. In 2018, we all know we launched trade negotiations with Mercosur, and that includes Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, and of course, Brazil. And we know that these are difficult times right now due to COVID-19, but we will ensure that we find a way to reestablish those rounds and make sure that when it comes to goods, our two nations who are global leaders in mining and farming and aerospace and oil and gas production and clean technologies have trade markets that will work together to the advantage of both of our countries. Canada and Mercosur have much to offer to the professional knowledge-based and logistics service areas, including sectors such as engineering, architecture, engineering and mining, transportation, and finance. I will mention that just around the new year this year, I was in a small coffee shop in my neighborhood, about 4 blocks from my home. I happen to live in a part of Toronto that has several language schools, English language schools, and it attracts foreign students. And whenever it attracts foreign students, it obviously attracts Brazilians who are here to learn English, to further their studies. And because there are those schools there, we have a large number of young Brazilians that I see every day in my community. And I engaged with one of them who was just finished a master's in architecture and was visiting Toronto for several months to improve his English. And he opened up his telephone to the beauties of the architecture, modern, exciting, innovative, and interesting architecture in the small cities and large cities of Brazil. And he said he was only learning English, but if my Portuguese could be anywhere near his English, it would be stunning. And what he was yet another ambassador for your country, making sure that Canadians understood the modern Brazil and the opportunities there. Those opportunities are about people, they're about business, they're about mining, but they're about a relationship of two countries that have much to offer the world. And so in all our trade agreements, we will ensure that we have modern agreements that respect labor rights and the environment, and will continue in these negotiations in ways that we will all do extremely well. Brazil is an economic force, and I don't need to tell you that because you know that. It's the world's 9th largest economy, and it's got a huge regional influence in South America, but also beyond. And so we want to use our history to have a better future, and we will do that for sure. We'll be together in reforming the WTO and trade. We'll work together in safeguarding or helping democracy emerge in countries where it is difficult, particularly Venezuela, where we work very closely in the Lima Group and are inspired by leadership. We'll work closely with bilateral trade, with investment, and we're very aware of Brazil's investments in Canada, which have surpassed $15 billion in 2019. We need Brazil, and that's exciting. But we also know that Canadians need to know that Canada has to have influence or investment in Brazil as well. And so we will be continuing to promote that two-way activity. From our more traditional commercial ties in mining or oil and gas, we want to expand and look at opportunities in education, healthcare, clean tech, aerospace, and telecom. And to that end, we'll be thinking about Canada every day and promoting Brazil in Canada to ensure that we're able to encourage companies to invest in Brazil for our mutual benefit. Our ambassador to Brazil, and Jennifer is on the call tonight, has joined us online today, and she will offer remarks shortly. She is providing extremely good leadership to a broad and diverse team in Brazil, in programs, in our Trade Commissioner Service, our Export Development Canada. It has expertise that will add to her expertise and that of her teams. And so we will continue to be partners with the Chambers of Commerce that bring us together here in Canada as well as in Brazil. Our trade agreements are important, but our friendship is even more important. The friendship that is established between Brazil and Canada, between Brazilians and Canadians, is of prime importance to all of us. I bring you greetings from our minister, Francois-Philippe Champagne, who wasn't able to be here tonight. I rest assured that we will continue this conversation with Mary Ng, our Minister of International Trade, and together we will ensure that our relationship is rich, profound, and grows every day. Obrigado. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert. We're very honored to have you here with us in this special occasion. And now I would like to share with you a video from a member of Parliament for Davenport, Julie Dzerowicz. Julie was not able to participate live with us, but she was kind enough to share a video message. So I'll be just sharing this message with you. Just a second.
Boa noite. My name is Julie Dzerowicz. I'm the Member of Parliament for Davenport. I'm also Chair of the Canada-Brazil Parliamentary Friendship Group. It is an absolute pleasure for me to say a few words to open up the Brazilian Week CCBC Online Festival and to be speaking on Brazil Independence Day. I want to start off by congratulating Ambassador Pedro Borio on his appointment to becoming Brazil's ambassador to Canada. I know it's been a few months since he has formally served in this role, but because of COVID, many of us haven't had a chance to welcome him to our great country and to our capital. So welcome, Ambassador Borio. We very much look forward to working with you. I also want to acknowledge a few other dignitaries at this event, and I won't be able to get through the whole list, but I do want to say a warm hello to Jennifer May, who's Canada's ambassador to Brazil, to Paulo Perrotti, who is the CCBC president, to Consul Generals for Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, Anna Beltram, Rubens Gama, and Silvio Albuquerque e Silva, and my colleague and friend, Rob Oliphant, who's the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. As the chair of the Canada-Brazil Parliamentary Friendship Group, there's a really strong desire within the Canadian-Brazilian community for there to be really strong relations between our two countries, and for us to celebrate the amazing Brazilian culture, as well as a desire within many in the community, as well as among Canadians at large, to develop stronger business and economic ties based on our shared values. The themes of this week's online Brazilian festival are innovation, business opportunities, and Brazilian culture. Themes that, in my opinion, fit perfectly with the moment. They are focusing exactly on key areas of interest for the community. I want to say huge thanks to the Chamber of Commerce for Brazil-Canada for its leadership in putting together this event. I also want to say thanks to the amazing teams at the Brazilian Embassy in Canada, to the teams at the Brazilian consulates in Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver, who've also come together to host this very important and timely program this week. And finally, Feliz Dia da Pátria. Happy Brazil Independence Day. Brazilians are known for many things, including they know how to throw a good party. So while COVID presents a unique challenge to planning huge celebrations, I have no doubt that the community here will find many ways to celebrate this week. So I want to say a huge thanks to Brazilian Canadians for their amazing contributions to Canada, and as a result, making us a stronger and more diverse country. Muito obrigada e desejo muito sucesso e celebrações esta semana.
Okay. So now I would like to call the Ambassador of Canada in Brazil, Jennifer May. You're mute.
Dear. Yeah, that's the bane of my existence, that mute button. Thanks very much. And I won't call myself Paulo this time, but I do feel very much that this is my new family. It's one of the advantages of this COVID crisis has been that we're able to really bridge geography. Under normal circumstances, Ambassador Borio, you'd be having a wonderful, wonderful reception, and some of the people in Canada would be able to attend, and the rest of us here would be celebrating on our own here in Brazil. This is a great opportunity for us all really to be together. I can say from experience with Canada Day and 1st of July, it is quite an emotional experience, the first time that you're celebrating your national holiday when you're abroad, and as the ambassador. And it is, I'm sure, very emotional for all of the Brazilian community in Canada now too, to be luckily able to celebrate on Labor Day in Canada, so that there is that festive atmosphere everywhere. But it is one that I hope next year we'll be able to celebrate in a more traditional style with those caipirinhas and with all of the other really celebratory moments that Brazil deserves on this very, very special day. I just wanted to say a couple of, I think that Parliamentary Secretary Oliphant has said it all, as well as Member of Parliament Julia Dzerowicz. We're very, very lucky to have your support. We're very lucky to be working very, very closely with the Brazil-Canada Chamber of Commerce, the Canada-Brazil Chamber, the CCBC, the BCCC, the embassy, the consulates. And I think the main thing I feel is that this is a team sport, and that we are really, really all working very closely together. I'm very happy with how that's all working. And all of you who are celebrating with us today, you're part of that team. And I really hope that we will soon be able to see you in person, whether it's in Canada, whether it's here in Brazil. We need to get Parliamentary Secretary back here to join us, hopefully perhaps with a trade delegation once we get that Mercosur agreement signed, sealed, and delivered. But there's a lot of work to do. And I'm really delighted that we have this fantastic team. And as others have said, having the resumption of those Air Canada flights back and forth between Brazil and Canada, that's another great tool that we can soon be leveraging again. So really just thank you, and I'm wishing all the best to all the Brazilians, no matter where you are today on this very, very special day. And Canada is among your best friends, and we're celebrating with you today as well. Thank you very much. Muito obrigada.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you very much. And now, since we've been talking about flying up to Canada and down here to Brazil, I'd like to call Giancarlo Takegawa, the General Manager of Air Canada in Brazil, and a very important partner of CCBC in this great event. Welcome, Giancarlo.
Okay, thank you, Paulo. Thank you. Thank you. Boa noite and good evening for everyone, for Ambassador Pedro Borio, Ambassador Jennifer May, and Robert Oliphant, the Secretary of Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the both Paulo, Paulo Perrotti, the President, and you, Paulo. Thank you very much again to invite us to be sponsorship in those online event festival. The first one was the Canada Day, and now we are celebrating Brazil Independence Day. So that's very important for Canada. We also are celebrating 33 years of service in Brazil, connecting both countries. So that's important for us to make sure that we leave all those countries to improve the relationship, not only for commercial and business things, but also for leisure, pleasure, and come to visit Brazil. So I hope that everyone enjoy the event. So and learn more, and be sure that you can come to Brazil a very short time within Canada. Once you resume our fly, and now we are operating the fly again in September. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for everyone. Have a good evening.
Okay, thank you, Giancarlo. And now I'd like to share some of my own words here with you. So once I've heard that Brazil and Canada are two giants that don't know each other very well. As CCBC Executive Director and the Curator of this festival, we hope that this event will help Canadians to get to know a little more about Brazil. The festival presents more than 20 webinars distributed in 3 main areas: business opportunities, innovation, and Brazilian culture. Besides, the Brazilian Week website offers more than 200 free contents, free cultural contents. So it's free access to a lot of interesting contents on very diverse topics. Visit our website to register and to participate. It's important to point out that the participation on any webinar is free of charge. We really hope that as many people as possible have access to not just the content, but all the webinars. There are lots of opportunities here in the Brazil-Canada relations, and we hope that this festival may contribute to explore and identify all the potential of this relationship. Now, I'd like to invite everyone for a virtual toast to officially celebrate the opening of the first Brazilian Week CCBC Online Festival. So if all our guests could get ready. Okay, we can put all our microphones on. Turn off the mute.
Some good Canadian red wine, Pinot from Niagara.
Well, I got
Wonderful.
Good Brazilian wine here. So, thank you very much for your participation. This is just starting. Have a happy Brazilian week, and let's have a very good festival, great festival. And please share with your friends, because there's a lot of good stuff in the website and great webinars to follow up.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy
Thank
Independence.
you and merci.
Joyous fête.
Hope to see you, some of you during the week.
Very good.
Yes.
Well, you will see all the time.
That's true. So once more, thank you very much. I'd like to also just to have a quick thank you for all the CCBC team that is putting this up together. As you can imagine, 1 week with more than 20 webinars, with each one of them with lots of speakers from different cities around Brazil and even from Canada. There's a lot of work being done also to collect all these more than 200 contents to be shared. So I really want to thank all the CCBC team for the great effort, and not just the things that have been done, but the things that we will still be doing during this week. We're gonna have a very intense and interesting week, and we're gonna celebrate again on the final event on the evening of, on the 11th, on Friday evening, with the Brazilian live music. We'll be having another toast to close this festival. Once more, thank you very much. Cheers and merci.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Merci.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you,
Tomorrow.
Jennifer. It was great to be with you here.
Wonderful to see you, Pedro, as always. Abraços.
Paulo's too. Thank you very much. Congratulations for working together with the Chamber in Toronto. And if you allow me, we are going to be doing a lot of specialized events from now on, all the time. Some subjects that are not being covered now, but just to give you a premiere, the Minister of Agriculture of Brazil has already accepted to be part of an event on agribusiness. She said she's very enthusiastic about this. So very soon, more to come.
Fantastic.
Very good. Thank you very much, Pedro.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
All the pleasure.